All right, welcome into another episode of the News4JAGs podcast. Jamal St here alongside Justin Barney. Justin, we're winding down.
Yeah.
It's the last week, last couple days left. Last couple of days left of training camp practice. Really at the end at this point.
Yeah, and the best weather, I think, of camp today.
Yeah.
And I talked to Johnny one after practice, said thank God for the cloud cover because it has been brutal humidity throughout camp. So we're getting to that finish line and 53-man roster projections coming out soon, and you got to make those decisions next week. Yeah,
look, it's going to be some tough decisions on this thing. Jaguars even kind of doing the roster churn. Since we did this last podcast, they made the trade, sent Luke Farrell to New Orleans, get Bink, Colin Saunders to come, big defensive tackle, to join the team. Practice for the first time today.
Let me console you about Luke Fortner's passing. I know he was the guy that you were really attached to and are sorry to see him go. So the moment of silence for Jamal. No, it was a good trade. I don't think either of us had him making our 53.
No.
So you got something out enough, and I look back at it as like a Blaine Gabbert kind of situation where you're going to get rid of a guy, and a team is willing to take him on and give you something for it.
That's
I think that Colin Saunders' trade is a win for Jacksonville. He gets into that defensive line rotation. Eric Armstead, Mason Smith have been not out and practicing with the team.
Hey, practice today though. Practice today.
Mason and Eric have been very limited throughout camp. Mason with the pup list and Eric with the back injury. So at worst, Colin Saunders is a short-term rental who plays depth portion on that line. So I think it was a good move.
Yeah, look, defensive tackle is the weakness on the defense. Weakest spot. I'm not saying that the entire defense is strong, but weakest point on the team probably is defensive tackle right now, because two of your guys that you need to play big roles, Mason Smith, Eric Armstead, both literally just returned to the field practicing with the team today. And
it's not just that you need them to play big roles. They're paid and drafted like they need to be contributing. I mean, Armstead was given a big deal last offseason, didn't really pan out. You've counted on him moving back to inside and panning out and playing. So you've invested a lot of draft capital and financial resources. You got to have something. And you look at that almost like a Devon Hamilton situation. You've paid a lot of money to that guy, and he just hasn't given you what you've expected. Right. So
you got to make a move. You got to do something. All right. So we're winding down. I talked to Christian Braswell today. Christian said that when you go out for these joint practices, which is later this week, Thursday, he said you got to be ready to fight.
Yeah,
got to be ready to fight. Straight for what it was. He also said that he's worked on his health. He said this is the healthiest he's felt going through a training camp since he's been in the league, and he's gotten banged up over the course of training camps in his first couple of years. Now this year, basically made it through. Says he still feels good. Says he's evolved that. And the one thing that really caught my attention, I was asking about the coaching staff, the different energy, and he said these are the type of coaches that you don't want to let down. Which is good. I mean, he said because you can tell they care, so you don't want to let them down.
Right. Hey, and that's good. And if you needed any other reason to play besides a paycheck and job security, it's for guys you want to not let down and impress. And you look at them like maybe family that you don't want to let a mom or dad down. You can't have that disappointment on their face. So hey, if you need another incentive to play, another motivation to play, it's fine. Let it be the incentive for you don't want to let these guys down.
Right. Nothing worse than hearing that. Not mad, just disappointed.
We've all endured it.
Yes.
Many times when I was giving my report card to my parents was that look of shame. So if I know that feeling well, I'm sure you know that feeling, that look very well.
Know the feeling. All right. So 53 is right around the corner. Definitely going to be some tough decisions along the way here.
I did think it was interesting. Last week, or week before, Liam Cohen said, I know about 50 of the spots.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's a relative. There's a lot of clean.
Yeah.
But it's always those last, I don't know if it's the last 3, but the last like 9 or 10.
Yeah, tough.
Are always tough where you're like, you're threading needles, or you're just, it's that's where it gets tough. It's like, we were talking about numbers earlier. Okay, well, who do you keep at safety?
Right.
Do you keep Daniel Thomas and Rayuan Lane?
Right.
I don't know. That's where
Rayuan had a pick.
He did have a pick in practice. But almost a little bit of a redundancy there between the two. Or can you find a way to stash one of them or make it work? I don't know. Some tough decisions. We'll get those final 53-man rosters out later this week. crank those out, see
Yeah,
see who's total.
Yeah, this will
is
be
a
our
little
third
closer.
one of the season, and we did our first one blind, our second one going into training camp, and now we'll have the final after. I think it's 18th day of training camp practice, 17th day, something like that. We're all running together. Hey, we've had perfect attendance out here.
We have
throughout camp. You're going to have perfect attendance because you're going to Miami.
Going to Miami on Thursday, so we'll have coverage coming from down in Miami, and then we'll be back here for high school football, so our high school football folks don't have to worry about all that.
Exciting,
yeah.
Exciting week.
It is that time. We're about to get cranked up. Regular season for high school starts. Regular season for the Jaguars is right around the corner as we get ready to wrap up preseason. We appreciate you hanging out with us here on the News4JAX podcast, and we'll see you next time.